I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down.
Hello, how is everybody? I hope everyone is very excited for Christmas. It's literally so round the corner now, and I'm feeling extremely unprepared. Like, I don't think I've ever been this unprepared. I was ill the whole of last week, so it's kind of like crept up on me, and I've got no present. So I'm hoping that Amazon Prime is going to deliver. Also, if we're thinking what the hell is going on with your hair, I'm also thinking the same. I slept in a plait for some reason and my hair just isn't giving. I thought it was gonna give like those nice beachy waves. It looks like a frizz bomb. It's kind of giving Hagrid, but you know what? I don't want to put any heat on my hair, so we're just gonna have to live with it. But as much as I'm now actually able to be excited for Christmas, I know how difficult Christmas can be for a lot of people. I know for me in the past, I've really struggled with Christmas, purely because it is a holiday that's completely surrounded by food. And as someone who used to be extremely restricted with food, I honestly know how difficult it can be. So I wanted to make this video and basically just like discuss how we're gonna like try and have the least restrictive Christmas that we can have, and kind of like some tips and tricks as to what I've done to kind of get myself to the point that I'm actually now able to look forward to Christmas, enjoy the food, enjoy the drink, and also most importantly enjoy the socializing, which is probably one of the main things that I have struggled with in the past few years. So I know it can be so difficult when every single person around you is super excited, eating everything, drinking anything, and you're kind of sat there like very overwhelmed, like I don't know what to do, and you're kind of thinking like, I've been restricting all year. The only thing I know about food is to restrict it and eat as little as I can, which is something obviously you can work on completely separately to Christmas. And the amount of work that I've put in this year around my relationship with food is probably the reason that I can now enjoy Christmas. So it's not something you can fix overnight, unfortunately. But I know a lot of you are definitely feeling overwhelmed. I put a little story on my Instagram and the responses I was getting literally was making me tear up, because it's so sad how common it is that people feel so overwhelmed by Christmas and don't know what the hell to do. I think one of the main issues is throughout the entire year, so many of us are like, okay, I'm tracking, I want to improve myself, I want to improve my body, and you start building up this like figure in your head that kind of tells you I should only be eating a certain amount of macros, I shouldn't be drinking a lot of alcohol, and if I do drink alcohol it has to be a certain low calorie kind of alcohol. And then Christmas comes around, it's like, eat whatever the hell you like, drink whatever the hell you like, it's all about celebrating. And it's kind of like, I've been teaching myself the whole year that that's not what we do, which I think from being in recovery the last year, I've completely taken away that kind of stigma around food. It's kind of like, if I go out and I want to drink a high calorie drink, I'll drink the high calorie drink. Like, it's never that deep. I think by allowing myself to do things like that, it's really just healed the way that I see food. And I have got to the point that I know that food can be for enjoyment. It's not something that you have to restrict. It's not something that you should feel bad about having. But whether you're the type of person that is struggling at Christmas, or you may know somebody that is also struggling, then hopefully this video can help a little bit and kind of give you a little bit of reassurance that taking time off at Christmas is completely okay. So the one point I want to touch on is that one of the things that I struggle with most is eating and drinking around people. I know around Christmas people can be very pushy and they'll be like, just eat whatever you like you need to eat more, like I bought all this food that's in the fridge, it needs to be finished by the end of Christmas, keep eating. And I know I used to feel like, oh my god, I feel so drowned in the fact that everyone around me is expecting me to eat. I felt like people were watching me eat, and I was the type of person like a year ago that I couldn't even eat out. I was so scared at the thought of someone watching me. And I think it came from the days that I was like a bigger girl, and I always used to think like, if I'm eating something like a donut out in public, people are gonna look at me and be like, oh, no wonder you're fat. Which no one thinks, like nobody cares if you're eating a donut. Literally nobody's giving you a second thought, but I think that's where that stigma came from. So I was just so terrified of eating around people just purely based on their opinions. And I think it also turned into, I'm trying to restrict as much as I can, so I don't want people to watch what I'm eating, because otherwise people are going to start making comments and telling me to eat more. So having to then eat in a social situation when you've been trying to avoid that can be so overwhelming, and I know last year I was absolutely terrified of it. But you do just have to remember that every single person that's going to be around you at Christmas loves the living shit out of you. Like, every single person there loves you, and none of them are doing it from a bad place. They never are, they never will be. They literally just want you to have a good time. And obviously Christmas is such a holiday that's so centered around food and drink that people see that as being the way of having a good time. And that's so true. Like, you should be able to enjoy food. You should be able to have a good time with food and drink and not feel any kind of guilt. But I think a lot of people don't understand that there may be other issues going on in your head. And if you do find yourself having that issue, or you see somebody else in your family, in your friendship circle having the same issue, maybe just pull them to a side and be like, is everything okay? Is like something going on? Is there any reason you don't feel comfortable doing this? And it's so nice to have someone that like actually cares, if that makes sense, because it can just feel so overwhelming when every single person's doing stuff and you're the only person that feels uncomfortable. But that'd be my suggestion if you do see someone in your friends or family struggling. And if you are the person that's in this situation, and I wouldn't advise you try to eat as much as you feel comfortable with, because the only way to get past your barriers is by breaking them. Like, you have to constantly be challenging yourself. Even at the point that I'm like a year or so into recovery maybe, I still challenge myself every single day. If I have any slight thought in the back of my head saying you shouldn't do this, I'll make sure I do it, just so that thought never wins. That's one of the biggest steps that I made, is just constantly tackling your thoughts. And that's something that I went through with my therapist. It's saying, we can link it back to say like anxiety. Like, if I'm ever anxious about something, the most important thing to do is do that thing, to show your brain that there's nothing scary there before it starts spiraling and making the issue into a bigger issue. So if you are at the point you do feel like you could eat something, try to eat it. Try and break past that barrier, and it will do you the world of good, honestly. Obviously, you may end up with things like food guilt and stuff like that, and that's something that I will cover a little bit later on. But as much as you can, try and challenge yourself. This is a holiday period that's meant to be enjoyed. Everyone loves Christmas because it's so full of food and drink. If you think about Christmas, like, it's like 3-4 days a year. I don't know about your family, yours might be longer. My family is around like 3 or 4 days in a year. There are 365 days in a year. Obviously, you're gonna have birthdays, you're gonna have Easter, you're gonna have so many other fun holidays that are gonna be food oriented. In the grand scheme of things, you're looking at, say, probably like 20 days and 365 days, you're gonna be involved in a holiday that's so centered around food. 20 out of 365 days is going to do absolutely no damage to your progress whatsoever. When you do feel overwhelmed, just kind of take a step back. This may sound so silly, but the way I kind of think about it is, I am on a floating rock. This, like mince pie, it doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. I'm literally standing on a floating rock. Nobody cares if I eat an extra mince pie or 10. I literally ate 4 mince pies the other day, in one day, and I literally had zero guilt about it. They tasted so good, and it made my body feel like I was getting into the festive spirit. It made me feel so much more Christmassy. And also, side note, until this year, I used to hate mince pies. I don't think I even properly tried them. I had one this year because I was craving it randomly. It was unbelievable. Maybe, actually, I was telling myself I didn't like them out of a way of restriction. Who knows, but they are absolutely unreal. So if you haven't had a mince pie this year, use this as your time to go and eat a mince pie, because I will be eating 4 a day until New Year's. Like, maybe even after that. I may just have to bulk buy mince pies just so I can have them all year round, because they are absolutely delicious. But my point is, throughout the year, because I've made such like tiny little bits of progress every single day, I've got to the point that I can sit and do that. If this Christmas feels too overwhelming for you, that is okay. You don't have to stress yourself out about it. Just try and get through the period. It doesn't have to be the best period of your life. It doesn't have to be the best couple of weeks of your life. You don't have to enjoy it. If that's something you don't feel ready for yet, like, that is so okay. Don't put excess stress on yourself to do things you don't want to do, ever. But when we look at next year, we can then start thinking of ways that we can get to the point that this time next year, at next Christmas, you will be able to enjoy the festivities, and it's something that you can then look forward to and think, this time next year, I will be in a place that I can enjoy this, and you can use that as your motivation next year to help yourself and get rid of the negative connotations to food that are in your head. One thing I do want to say though is, no matter your body, no matter what you look like, no matter what you ate yesterday, no matter if you've been off track for a week or a month or a year, you will always deserve food. It does not matter what stage in your journey you are, you always deserve to eat. Just because you're not at your goal yet doesn't mean you don't deserve to do things that you love and you enjoy. So do not feel like just because you're on your fitness journey, you have these macros you need to track, you don't deserve to eat food and you don't deserve to enjoy Christmas. That is so false. You deserve to enjoy food at any single point in your life, no matter what you look like or what you do, anything, it doesn't matter. You deserve to eat that food. And also to say on top of this, if you are on a fitness journey, just think your why. Why did you start this fitness journey? You started this fitness journey to become a better person. You may have decided to lose weight, to become stronger. You started this fitness journey to better yourself and better your life. And what I would like to say to you is you restricting and stopping yourself enjoying Christmas and something you love doing bettering yourself as a person? I personally don't think it is. I think by taking your fitness journey so black and white that you can't do anything that you love, you can't go out for a coffee with your best friend, you can't go out to a Christmas market to eat food, you can't sit around the Christmas table and enjoy your roast dinner, that is not something that's going to be productive on your journey. You're only going to end up resenting yourself for restricting at some of your favourite points in the year and missing out on so many missed opportunities from someone that's been there and done it and can now look back. I resent myself for all those things I missed out on. There's certain people that are no longer in my life that I could have spent more quality time with by not restricting my food and actually wanting to socialise with people. Because I took my fitness journey far too seriously, there are things that I missed out on that I'm never going to get back. So one thing I would say, cliche as it sounds, treat every single day like it's your last. If you died tomorrow, would you be thank God I restricted yesterday. You would hope that you spent your last day living your life to the fullest, spending time with your friends, family, and you never know what is going to happen in life. I think the past few years have showed us that, and I think if anything, COVID should have taught us that we need to take every single moment that we can and spend it with the people we love. Because how do we know that at the start of January, something similar might not happen again and we won't be able to see our friends and families, our nans, our granddads for 4 months at a time? We don't know that's going to happen, and I feel like we need to take COVID as such a lesson to just enjoy everything as much as you can like it's your last. I know for a fact the last few Christmases at my household, even last year, have not been the same. This is the first Christmas in probably around 3 years that is actually normal. Like, it's completely normal. And I think there's so much beauty in that, and something that we should really, really be appreciative of. And when you look back in 3 years' time, you're not gonna think, thank God I ate one less mince pie. You're not gonna think, thank God I didn't join in with the Christmas festivities. You're not gonna look back and think, thank God I didn't go to that Christmas market and eat loads of food. Like, I'm so glad I didn't do that. You'll look back like I do now and think, why did I not do that? Like, that would have been so much fun. It would have been a memory that I'll have forever with my closest friends, with my closest family. And I promise you, you will only regret missing out on the opportunities that you could have taken this year. And also, needless to say, time off is good. Your body needs time to reset. You will end up burning yourself out completely if you're constantly doing the same thing. You need time to relax. You need time to take off. And the thing is, by not taking that time off, you're only gonna be burning yourself out and telling yourself that you're not good enough to have that time off just because you're not at your endpoint. And let me tell you, that endpoint will never come. Your endpoint will always change. So for example, you say to yourself, I want to lose 10 kilograms. You lose the 10 kilograms, you're like, I could do more. Like, I promise you now, every single person you see on Instagram, every single person you look up to is not at their endpoint. As humans, we have a drive that you will always want more. So if you're constantly saying to yourself, like I used to, once I reach this point, I'll enjoy my life again. That point will never come, so please stop saying that. Enjoy your life as you're living the life. Because as I said earlier, you don't know when your life is gonna stop. Like, as morbid as that might be, you don't know. So just enjoy every single day like you can. Take all the experiences with open arms and try and enjoy everything as much as you can. So now we've spoken about how to like kind of navigate Christmas and the positives of actually joining in. I do want to speak about the next day, because that is when you may start feeling guilty. You're like, why did I do that? Like, I feel disgusting. My body feels so like groggy. I shouldn't have done that. All I want you to do, carry on as normal. Whether you have a day off, whether you have a week off, whether you've had the month off. As soon as you decide, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, like I don't feel good, like I want to get back on track kind of thing, just start as you would normally. You do not need to spend a day, a week, any time trying to make up for the calories you've eaten, or try and like get yourself back on track like as quickly as possible. What is the need? There is no need to try and get yourself back on track as quickly as possible. It's a fitness journey. It's a journey. It's not a fitness week. We're not looking for a fast result, because we all know fast results are not sustainable. And also some tips for the next day. Do not weigh yourself. I beg you, do not step on those scales. I know how tempting it can be. Don't do it. The scales don't exist. In my head, the scales don't exist anyway. I haven't even stepped on a scale for a good like 3 months. This scale does not help your life at all. All it does is make you think like, shit, I've gained weight. And I know how I used to see it. If I gained a little bit of weight, I'd restrict. And that is how I end up having like quite severe eating disorders. If you're also someone that is prone to body checking in the mirror, put on a baggy outfit. You don't need to see it. Because the thing is, the days after you eat more, there's a very big chance that the food that you've eaten more of, say for example, every kind of general Christmas food has more sodium in it, which is basically salt if you don't know what sodium is. But that means your body's retention of water will go up, and that means you're gonna feel bloated, you're gonna feel bigger than normal. It is not fat gain. Let me tell you, it is not fat gain. You have to eat 3,500 calories over your maintenance calories to even gain 1 pound of fat. For any of my kilogram girlies, that's like 0.5 kilograms. But you have to eat so much to gain a tiny little bit. So even if you did step on those scales and it told you, oh, you've gained 4 pounds, you haven't. It's literally water weight, which is why I tell you to not even bother. It is so pointless to step on there. Wait a few days, wait for your water weight to go down, wait till you're feeling a little bit more normal, and if you do really feel the need to step on the scales, then do it then. There is absolutely no positives in your life that are going to come from you stepping on the day after. I promise you that. And if you do end up stepping on the scales and you end up feeling like, oh my God, I need to restrict, and you end up feeling like, oh my God, I've gained so much weight, I need to restrict now, you're only gonna build a bad relationship up with food. What you're doing when you restrict, you're telling your body and your soul, you are not worthy of eating that food because you've gained weight. That number on a scale is now defining your happiness and your entire life goals. When it's just a number, it's just a number. And we're going back to that. We are literally on a floating rock. Numbers have literally been created. They're not even a thing. So you're gonna let a number that has been created thousands of years ago that doesn't actually mean anything dictate how you're gonna spend your life for the next few weeks. And hopefully by putting it like that, you kind of understand where I'm going with this. Because when you actually take a huge step back and look at the world for what it is, you kind of just realize like, it's not that deep. And I think that's one of the main things that really helped my recovery is genuinely just thinking of the world as a floating rock. And it's like, I am one of, I don't know how many billion people there are now, like 9 billion people. And I'm making myself feel horrific about the fact that I've gained like 2 kilograms. That for a starter, nobody else is even gonna notice that you've gained. Nobody's gonna know. And I found since constantly reminding myself that you're floating on a rock, my brain sees things so differently because it just makes you take a huge step back and kind of realize what the important things in life are. Life is such an incredible experience that we're only gonna get once. And by letting something so unimportant direct the way that we're gonna live this one life that we get, it's just crazy when you think about it, when you take a step back and actually realize like, what am I doing? Like, I am part of this crazy experience that is living on this planet. And if you think, how small were the odds that you as an individual were put on this planet? You are here for a flipping reason. And that reason was to not be the lowest weight you can be. That reason is to change other people's lives, make people happy, make yourself happy, live the best life you can live. And I can assure you, your best life isn't gonna come from being the lowest scale weight. So as soon as we get to the point that you realize that striving for being the smallest thing you can be is never gonna make you the happiest being you can be, your life will do a complete 180, and I promise you that. I feel like I'm going completely off topic here talking about the world, but also it is kind of important. But I'm gonna try and stay a bit more on topic because I wanted this video to be a short one, but evidently I am physically not able to make short videos, and I feel like I'm just at the point that I just need to accept that. But also, when we're thinking you've had a couple of days off, it's the day after, by just getting back into your normal routine, you're literally just showing to yourself, I am resilient. Like, my brain is so in control of this journey, and in the long run, you're gonna see, oh, that couple of days off didn't actually make any difference to my life. I just got straight back on track. I got back to my progress. It made no difference. And the more you do that and continue as you were, you're gonna start realizing that these times off are actually really good for you. They're good for your mental sanity. They're good for your mental health. They're good for your physical health. They're good for your soul. So by actually actively doing them and realizing that they're not making any difference to your progress, just by getting back on track, you're gonna end up feeling so much more comfortable when other things like this come around in the future, like best friend's birthday, your birthday, Easter, Christmas, Eid, Diwali, Hanukkah, anything that involves you being off track, you're gonna feel so much better about doing it. Now you know that the last time you did it, nothing happened. And I promise you, nothing will. A couple of days off, a couple of weeks off isn't gonna ruin your progress. I can promise you that. The main thing about having a couple of weeks off is how you get back on. And that is all down to you and your mind and how you see your journey. And we just need to see it that part of your journey is gonna be off track days. We are human. We're on this crazy planet that has all these amazing foods to try. It has all these amazing experiences. You're gonna wanna do those experiences, and that should be a part of your journey, not something you're gonna see as it setting it back. We want that to be part of your long ass journey. And we need to start seeing these holidays, these time periods as being part of the journey instead of something that's going against the journey. What you also need to think is if in a couple weeks time, you're still stepping on the scales and you have maybe gained some weight, but you just need to think, okay, I may have gained 2 kilograms. Who cares? Who cares? I'm not gonna say the floating rock thing again, but you know exactly what I will say. You just need to think of it in the long term. That's gonna come off. Like, you're gonna go back to your normal weight, you're gonna go back to your normal life. But the positives of it is that you're gonna have so many memories that you can then look back on in a year's time and think, wow, that was an amazing fucking Christmas. That is what you're gonna think. And I promise you, from someone who's had many restrictive Christmases, you're not gonna look back and think, amazing, I restricted more. I promise you. In a couple of years, when you get to the same point as me, you'll look back and be like, damn it, I missed out on so much. Like, I really wish I understood my body and how I should cope with these festive seasons more, because I could have enjoyed that. I could have spent more time with that person that may not be in my life anymore. I think that's just how you have to see it. Even if you do gain weight, it was for a good purpose. You literally lived your life and you had a good time. And there needs to be nothing more said about it. And I swear to you, it does not matter. Not one person in this world other than you gives a crap that you've gained a tiny little bit of weight. I swear. But I think I'm going to close off this video there. I feel like I've been absolutely rambling and talking to you for such a long time now, but I do hope it at least helped one of you that is watching. Please just remember, Christmas is for enjoying and spending with your family. It's meant to be such a good time of year. So please try not to let yourself get too overwhelmed with the whole statistics around your fitness journey. As I said, we should be seeing this as part of the journey, not something going against it. But if you did enjoy this video, as always, I'd be so appreciative if you did give this video a like and subscribe down below. We are so close to hitting 1K, which is so super exciting. It's my first major YouTube milestone, which is still a little bit of a pinch me, because if you've watched a couple of my videos on this channel, I've literally been wanting to do YouTube since I was 13 years old. So I mean, I'm really sitting here living my 13-year-old dream. But also around this video, if anyone is struggling, my DMs on Instagram are always open. My Instagram handle will be just down here, as it has been for this entire video. So if any of you do need someone to speak to, want to have a call, want to just have a quick chat over message, anything, please just DM me. I'll try my hardest to get back to all of you as quickly as possible. Also, because this is going to be probably my last video before Christmas, I do just want to say thank you all so much for supporting me all year round. It honestly means the absolute world to me to have literally like a massive group of best friends online. Like, it is such a surreal experience to actually be able to sit here and talk to some of you and actually hopefully make a difference in some of your lives. Also saying that, because this is going to be my last video before Christmas, I am actually starting a coaching business, which is so super exciting. So if any of you are looking for a coach, I'm mainly going to be focusing on like fitness coaching, but I really want my coaching to be surrounded by this whole self-love, body positivity, actually changing your mindset towards fitness and not just looking to just lose weight and change your body, because that's not going to make you feel fulfilled as a person. I can tell you that as someone who lost a lot of weight, it doesn't make you feel that good. What is going to make you feel good is changing your mindset, changing your self-love, showing yourself that your body is okay and is so perfect as it is, but you can still achieve your fitness goals whilst doing it. I just really want to create a business that isn't just going to throw a fitness and nutrition guide at you. It's going to help you change your habits, your mindset. Like, I want to actually help you change as people. And honestly, I've been working for over a year on this company, so it is my little baby. And we are going to be going completely live just after Christmas, which I am so super excited to start coaching all of you guys in January. Honestly, pinch me. We're honestly going to make so much progress in 2023, and it's going to be both of our years. It's going to be such a good year, and I can't wait to help you guys achieve your goals, hopefully. But yeah, I'll leave the coaching Instagram just here, so if you do want to go and give it a follow, I'll be more than appreciative, and hopefully we can work together in the very near future. But I hope everybody has the most amazing Christmas, and you enjoy your food, you enjoy spending your time with your loved ones, and you just have the best time ever. But do remember, if you don't have the best time in the world, that is completely okay. We can work together, we can work on our mindset, so this time next year, you are gonna have a good time, and I promise I will try and help as much as I can. But I hope everyone has a lovely holiday season and you enjoy it as much as you can. I'm gonna love you and leave you here, and I will see you just after Christmas with another video. I love you all so much, bye.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down.